Blessed be the name of the Most High God, the God whose I am and the God whom I serve. Blessed be his holy name forever. In he alone we have our being and our strength. He is the God of all that is. He knows the end even before the beginning. He's the God of all flesh, the Alpha and the Omega, the Elohim, the Adonai, the Yahweh God. He that comes forth as a mighty and strong man in battle. He that cannot be defeated or resisted. Glory and honor and praise be unto him forever. In Jesus' mighty name I pray this morning. Fellow Nigerians, I wish to say a few words about what is going on in our country today. It is a tragedy of monumental proportions that we have a president who is not fit physically, spiritually, emotionally, or morally to continue to lead this country. We have a president who just the other day in Warri addressed his party's governorship candidate as the presidential candidate, when he was reminded that this is not the presidential candidate but the governorship candidate. He addressed him as the party's senatorial candidate. We have a president who just the other day in Lokoja, as he was mounting the podium to address a rally of his supporters, slumped and would have fallen had it not been for the fact that his aides held him up. We have a president who just the other day in Kaduna, as he was sitting down before another crowd of his supporters, almost collapsed. We have a president who was on television the other day in an interview, and sitting next to him was his vice president. And as the young lady that was interviewing him was speaking, all he could do was answer in a nonsensical manner, drool, and say things that had no relevance or bearing to the questions that which he was asked. As a matter of fact, his vice president, who was literally there to hold his hand and guide him, was answering most of the questions on his behalf. It was so bad that the interviewer had to say to the vice president, "Why don't you let Mr. President answer these questions himself?" That is the type of leader that we have in Nigeria today. We have a president who, in all his ways, has been divisive, has been vindictive, has been cruel, has been insensitive, and has chosen to destroy the unity of our nation. A unity that was born out of a very brutal and bitter civil war in which millions of people were killed. A unity that came at a heavy price, and a unity that many of us seek to preserve despite the challenges that we are facing. We have a president that has utter contempt for all the other arms of government, a president that seeks to remove the Chief Justice of the Federation, a president that sought to remove a Senate president, a president that sought to totally and completely demean the media, a president that has sought to bring the Nigerian people to their knees simply because he wants to remain in power, a president that has no sense of decency, and a president that has sought to intimidate and destroy all those that stand against him. We have a president that believes there's nothing wrong in ensuring that every single security chief in our country that leads the 17 security agencies are all northern Muslims, except for one, which is the Navy. This is in a multiracial, multicultural, and multi-religious nation like Nigeria, where we have almost 200 million people, and this president believes that it is important to keep power in the hands of his own people at the exclusion of others. We have a president who believes that he is a northern Fulani Muslim before being a Nigerian citizen. He puts his tribe and his faith before his nation. We have a president who has no sense of unity and who believes the Middle Belters and Southerners and core northern Muslims that do not view the world like him are nothing but slaves and scum. We have a president who was once a great hero during the war in Chad, and who led our troops in Chad with great honor and great glory and great courage, but who has degenerated and become what he is today. A man that is scared of his own shadow, a man that seeks to destroy all that oppose him, and a man that has no sense of decency. May God deliver and guide our nation. May God protect the Federal Republic of Nigeria. May God deliver us from this affliction, this plague, this man who has become in all his ways utterly reprehensible, and a man that we can no longer accept as our leader. I urge every single Nigerian to consider the elections that are coming next month and to understand and appreciate the fact that we have no option but to vote this man out of power. If we want Nigeria to survive as one nation, Buhari has to go. If we want Nigeria not to enter into a conflict which will have monumental implications for the whole West African sub-region and indeed the world, Buhari has to go. If we want to ensure that our children and our children's children have a future in this nation, Buhari has to go. We have a president whose own party leaders, including the DG of his presidential campaign organization, described him as being utterly unfit to do the job and said he has brought nothing but poverty and shame to the Nigerian people. We have a president whose own supporters in the main are ashamed of his actions and who only support him because they feel that they have no option. We have a president who has always been regarded as a friend by Boko Haram, and a president that has turned a blind eye to the atrocities of the Fulani herdsmen over the last 3 years. We have a president who, under whose administration genocide, ethnic cleansing, and mass murder has been conducted in Nigeria with impunity. We have a president who sent out his army to slaughter over 1,000 Shia Muslims and thousands of IPOB youths. We have a president who is intolerant of dissent, who cannot comprehend or understand the importance of tolerating those that do not agree with him and respecting the opposition. We have a president whose purpose is to jail and destroy every single person that has opposed him over the last 3.5 years. We have a president who in all his ways is totally and completely incompetent and is totally and completely vindictive. We have a president whose own wife has said that is not ruling the country, but rather two faceless, unelected individuals who she did not mention are the ones that are controlling him and therefore ruling our country. These are unelected officials. We don't know who they are, but his own wife has said that they are the ones ruling the country and that he's not doing so. We have a president who describes women, including his own wife, as being only fit for the other room. We have a president who goes abroad and at every given opportunity insults the Nigerian people, calling us corrupt, inept, lazy, and totally and completely incapable of being decent citizens. That is the type of attitude, and these are the type of things that our president says about us to foreign leaders and in foreign audiences. We have a president who has contempt for the Christian faith, contempt for the church, contempt for the Christian Association of Nigeria. We have a president who regards Muslims that does not view things as he does, as not being good Muslims. We have a president who was once described by Boko Haram as a friend and who was appointed by them as their negotiator in proposed talks with the Jonathan government. We have a president who once said that he believes that Sharia law should be spread into every state of the Federation, including the Christian states in the South. We have a president who once said that it was an attack against the North to attack Boko Haram. We have a president who once said that why should Christians be concerned when Muslims chop off their arms in the name of Sharia? We have a president who does not understand the importance of unity and peace, but who is prepared to tread on and destroy every single institution in this country and abuse power just to hold on to the reins of government. We have a president who has contempt for anything or anybody that does not view things his own way. We have a president that has become a danger to himself, and more importantly, a danger to the nation. We have a president that simply is physically unfit to continue to lead us. It is time to remove Buhari. It is time to vote him out of power. It is time to return peace and unity back to Nigeria. We have a president who has pushed a whole generation of young Igbo people into wanting to break off from this country. He has pushed IPOB into leading a peaceful agitation for the breakup of Nigeria, and his response was to declare them terrorists. Meanwhile, he refuses to declare those that sponsor and support the activities of Boko Haram and Fulani herdsmen as terrorists. That is the type of president that we have. A man that sees those things that are good and wholesome and honorable as being evil, and a man that sees those things that are clearly evil as being good and honorable. We have a president who is using elements in the Southwest that support him just as his errand boys to enslave others. We have a president that has no regard, that has no respect, that has absolutely no positive thing to say or to think about his own people. Buhari has to go. That is the challenge that we have today. And I say that it is time for us as a people to rise up and stop being cowardly, stop being intimidated, to rise up from our knees and to say enough is enough. I would rather live a short life on my feet than live a long life on my knees. Like McKinley once said, I would rather have liberty, and if you cannot give me liberty and freedom, then give me death. In Nigeria, we are a people whose whole history proves one thing. We are strong, we are courageous, we are proud, and we are capable of doing anything. We excel wherever we go. All over the world, Nigerians are doing very, very well. Let no one fool you. We are a strong people, a proud people, a good people, and a people that are a pride of the African continent. And I say it's time for us to look within and to ensure that we become that which God has purposed us to be. Not to allow this man that has no sense of decency or duty, that has no honor, this man that is steeped in blood, this man whose government has inflicted more damage and more harm to our people's psyche than any other government in the history of Nigeria. This man under whose government more people have been killed by militant extremists and by his own security agencies than any other government in our history and at any other time in our history outside the Civil War. This man that simply wants to remain in power at all costs and is prepared to do anything to achieve that. I say it is time for us to say enough is enough, to go out there, cast our vote in a peaceful manner, and to ensure that he goes. And I say one more thing. If he decides to stay in power, even though he has lost the election and even though he's been voted out, I say it is time for us to say either we stand firm and ensure that he goes, or let there be no country left for him or for us. This is the defining moment. We will either ensure that we have democracy in this country, a peaceful country, where all citizens are regarded as being equal, where some are not horse riders and some are not horses, where some are not masters and some are not servants. Either we have that or we have no Nigeria anymore. And may God ensure that it doesn't come to that. We want peace. We want progress. We want justice. We want decency. We want righteousness in our nation. And above all, we want God to rule in our affairs. Enough of this. It is time to get Buhari out of power by voting him out. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless you. God bless each and every person that's listening to this. My name is Femi Kayode, and I'm proud to tell you that I will stand against Buhari no matter what. I will stand against his evil no matter what. And I will stand together with millions of other Nigerians and say no to this evil, no to this tyranny, no to this vicious man who seeks to destroy my people, the great and good people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God alone rules in the affairs of this world. God alone forges the destiny of nations. God alone should be exalted. God alone is capable of anything and everything. The Lord will remove Buhari. The Lord will pull him down. The Lord will shame him. The Lord will shame his supporters. The Lord will ensure that every Nigerian finds unity and peace once again, and that we love one another as we once used to do. We will come back together as one people, whether you're a northerner, a southerner, a Muslim, or a Christian, or even an atheist. We will come together once again as a nation and be that which God wants us to be. But the first thing we have to do is to get Buhari out, restructure the nation, and then, of course, forge a new direction for our people. God will guide us and God will protect us. Thank you for listening, and have a wonderful day. God bless you all. God bless you all. God bless you all. God bless you all.